Bonjour, and Dinaway, Magna Dog. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road with your host, David R. Stenberg, me, Captain Morgan, cast away from my poop deck, sitting here on the beach, beautiful Casco Bay, Old Orchard Beach, trying to get my mind right.
How could your mind not be right being there?
I don't know. Came here, so my mind isn't right. My mind gets right the longer I sit here, I think.
That's cool.
How are you?
Pretty good, man. You're up near York, yeah?
York's down that way, past Saco. Go around that point over there, south, and York's down there, and go around this point, uh, Cape Elizabeth, and then Portland. Those islands look pretty cool out there. I haven't been out there, but Maine has like hundreds of little islands like this. Yeah, really cool to explore them all.
I
But
did
how's the
I did Hyannis. Um, I had a
uh,
sailboat there. That was pretty cool. And then they had a guy who rented catamarans. Catamarans are a lot of fun. Just don't take none of your shit with you, because you will dump it.
yeah?
Yeah, just take shots. Take shots, get in there and go nuts. Those things are fucking great. I love catamarans. I like my trimaran because it never tipped, but the cat, it just goes up on one side. I'm always like, I flew off it once. I went flying into the sail because the sail laid down onto the ocean, right? And then, like the trampoline just tossed me. and then
Always wanted to
go ahead.
in.
Hey,
Oh, I
that's a
said I
pretty
always
gnarly
wanted to try
sight
that.
of your junk, man. Maybe reposition.
Oh, how about
That's not
this?
helping.
Better?
You're one hairy motherfucker. Not attractive. Well, it's distracting. I don't know. Maybe some of the audience would like that. Maybe I've ruined it. No, I've ruined it.
Somebody out there likes hairy old men, I
You big
guess.
old hairy fucker, man. It went off my head, but now I have him in my. Now I have hair in my ear. That's where I needed it, I guess.
Hey, you guys, did you get some hail down where you were?
Did I get what? Hail?
Hail.
No. Oh, no. I don't think so. All right, it's Mike. Let's admit Mike.
Wow.
See if he's blurry today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was having a little bit tough.
No, I won't feel good when you laugh.
Mike.
Okay. Hey there.
Hey,
Never mind. Yep. I said not on the phone.
how's it going? Is
Okay,
George in his habitat, his natural habitat there?
yeah. That's the place.
Natural habitat.
That's the place to be right now,
Well, it
man.
might not be your natural habitat, but it's your place that you want to be. So
Place I want to be right now, but you do get sick of it after a few days.
yeah,
You long for something else,
well, I guess that's the same with everything.
and too expensive to maintain more than a couple of days, really,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Well, yeah,
But
there's that.
hey,
but look at you. It's a beautiful blue sky, beautiful day on the beach. Fucking awesome, dude.
it's
Good
wonderful
for
up
you.
here. Hey, how about that hailstorm the other day? Did you get hail?
We didn't get hail at my house. They got it in Killingly. People went off the roads on 395 because the road was covered in ice.
Wow.
But it just poured here, and you've got hail at your house.
What was that?
Day
Uh,
before yesterday.
The third? Huh.
Yes.
Nope. I was out
We
and
lost
about that day.
electricity.
Didn't see no hail.
Yeah, a lot of people. Square was still out on South Killingly Road. He was still out of electricity yesterday.
Yeah, so I think power out his way and my way, I think, because we have the same transmission line. It goes up about yesterday afternoon sometime. It was back online.
Jesus.
Yep.
So, what have I been missing in Rhode Island besides
Nothing.
hail?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a 4th of July party yesterday in Chepachet off of Douglas Hook Road. Place used to be an apple orchard that got all grown in, and these two guys who grew up there inherited it. They went to school with my brother, and they did all kinds of work and cleared these fields, and it was just a beautiful place. Is amazingly beautiful. It could have been in Vermont or anywhere, like just beautiful, beautiful.
Uh, some of the last green spaces in Rhode Island.
Yeah, and they're doing it right. They're preserving it.
Uh,
It's going to be land trust land when they pass or whatever. They have an agreement where it's not ever going to be development, and
what was the name of that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
just people will be able to enjoy it.
What was the name of that apple orchard we used to hang around in Douglas Hook, Cooper Hill Road?
Yeah, this was
Up
right
there.
near there. It's like it's the abutting property.
Oh,
They
no
were all
kidding.
steers. All the properties around there were owned by the Steer family. My Uncle Bernie's was I don't know where that name came from, but that was one of the steers. And I was
Uncle
talking to those
Bernie
guys,
steer.
they knew all about it and how beautiful it was.
Yeah, Coop Hill Road's cool. That's where that customer I liked, they had a hemlock grove for
Oh, yeah?
God. And that was the one with I delivered milk during a snowstorm, and it was all just hanging over. It was like going through like driving through a tunnel. I'm knocking all the snow off the branches and shit. Having the time of my life,
Hemlock
I love
Grove
snowstorms.
was beautiful.
That fucking milk truck was great in snowstorm. It had dualies in the back. There was no
Oh, yeah.
stopping it. There's no way. I was just, doesn't matter. Don't care. Get deep. See if I give a shit. It was a tank, that thing. Nice. Really, really kind of cool. It was like, I love that. I love storms too. Like I had one, like a summer storm. It was like sideways rain, like all day. Like the minute you went outside, you got soaked. But it was warm summer rain,
Oh, yeah.
and there was nobody out. And I had actually, the only time I ever had to wear any rain gear was during those storms. And what I used to do is I get those cheap Kmart raincoats, the jacket and the pants and like the hood, right? And I just put the shirt on, and then I put my work shirt on over it. So I had a dry T-shirt and that thing, and then my work shirt was soaked, but that's why I kept moaning, and that's where you could identify me as a milkman, And the hat, I used to put the hood on my head, and then I put the hat on, right? And it would just flare out like an Arab or whatever the fuck, right? And now I'm charging around. I got the whole world to myself. Nobody's driving. Nobody's out, And yeah, I think that happened twice. I got a rainstorm like that, sideways rain. Those were the shit. The only ones I hated was tornado watch. I remember one day it was like a good chance there's a tornado. Where the fuck am I gonna go in a milk truck? I said, I wonder if this is heavy enough to live through. But now I'm getting tossed around with milk bottles and shit, so I'm screwed. That's what was going through my head all day. I was looking around for fucking tornadoes and shit. And then I decided that maybe I shouldn't just listen to the fucking weather report before going out.
That's what adults do.
Well,
You realize that when you're a kid, but when you're young, so oh yeah, this is what adults do, man. We dress for the weather. We check the weather like an old man.
Yeah.
We dress for it.
No way am I going out there. There's hail.
Well, fortunately, we don't get the same kind of tornadoes they get down south.
Well, what's that about?
But we had a tornado watch the storm, the hailstorm, wasn't it? I think my brother was telling me.
Yeah,
usually a
Tornado
sign.
watch for the area.
We usually get like microbursts where tornado will like hit a bunch of trees and then be done.
This-
We don't get them like tearing through trailer parks like they got out west and down south.
They have happened
my
here.
cousin-
Though. There's kind of a famous
they
one
have.
that went across Mass, like the lengthways. I've looked that up. It was a nasty one. once.
My cousin on Gold Mine Road had set up for a 4th of July party on Gold Mine Road, and she posted pictures of it. All her tents and pavilions are all wiped out by the windstorm. It was huge, just wiped the whole yard out. Down limbs, everything.
Yeah,
Hold up the lawn.
I was
Yeah,
talking to someone yesterday who they had their party on the 3rd, and it got completely rained out. Everybody left. Everything was trashed and soaked. And so, yeah,
so you had a good fourth party.
yeah, it was pretty good. Um,
Yeah,
like I said, it was up in this beautiful space, and the money was good, and the boys sounded good. So
all right. So you guys played.
Yep.
Good. That must have been great.
yeah, like I said, it was just the most beautiful scenery. It's just these beautiful fields, and the big white puffy clouds. So sometimes the light was really dramatic with beams of light coming down on parts of the field, and just beautiful, really beautiful.
That's nice.
A bunch of kids my brother went to school with. A bunch of his friends.
So did your brother bring some good ale to the party?
He brought Captain's Daughter.
Oh,
Yep, that's kind of his go-to.
so is he not making anymore? Or is he? I thought,
Yeah, he has. He's got a spot set up to put the brewery, but there's still some plumbing stuff that has to be done there, and then he'll get the brewery set up sooner rather than later. I hope. His homemade is way better.
yeah, he's talented.
We did it.
Remember, like you were.
He and I did a clone of Arrogant Bastard. Only it was an all grain. Yeah, it came out really good.
Arrogant
Yeah, that's
bastard.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's my
a-
favorite. It's a
it's
double.
a good
it's a
variety
double ale.
from Stone. Yeah, that's a
They named
real
it after
thing,
me,
Dave.
Dave.
No,
That's what I
it's
drink it.
like-
They named it after me.
Yeah. The thing that wouldn't go home.
Well,
Thing that insisted that you go home.
That was John
We,
Belushi. That was a Saturday Night Live skit. The thing that wouldn't leave.
Yeah,
He was just, it was like 3 in the morning and he's still there. Everybody else has gone home. The thing that wouldn't leave.
yep.
that's a nice.
The thing.
I think I've experienced that thing once or
The
twice.
thing, yes. What in the thing? In the thing. The thing. It's the other.
Had some nice Gearys yesterday. Come up here
All right.
and get a 12-pack Gearys. That's always pretty nice.
Yeah. Get some good seafood while you're up there.
Not really. Everything up here is just nutty expensive, even for us.
Lazy Man Lobster. Lazy Man
Oh.
Lobster.
Yeah.
That's
How
over-
about a
that's-
nice?
That's down in York at the end where the breakwaters are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that restaurant. Matter of
Ah,
fact,
it's
when you
too
sit
far
there, you
away.
can see the waves crashing up on the rocks. This fucking ocean is flying all over the place, And you're sitting there eating Lazy Man Lobster, and it's costing you a fucking $1 million. I mean,
Right. You got $40 lobster rolls
that's
up here.
right, man. It's gonna be
And,
dog food the rest of the year for you.
I had a cod sandwich that cost $20. And, So I had. It's
Oh
pretty
shit!
expensive.
You get lobster roll down here for $20.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
I
it's
could
not up
almost
here.
get half
That's
a bag of
why
groceries for that.
you got to pay the. You got to pay the man. You got to pay for the experience up here.
Yeah,
All these tourist dollars up here,
yeah,
taking advantage.
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of space on that beach. Where the fuck is everybody?
Oh, it'll get crowded.
Yeah,
It's still a little early. I mean, yesterday was just nutty
not
crowded,
really.
and well, I mean, yesterday was just crazy
Oh, it's
crowded.
the
It was
right. It's the fifth.
people are
Everybody's
coming in.
kind of
There's the
hungover.
lifeguard crew doing their morning workout before they hit the lifeguard benches.
Hey, you got a
That's
seagull.
how that's how close we are to the park. Just staying back there, and yes, I mean it's like great bars and entertainment. Drink prices are very
Look,
expensive.
Jonathan Livingston.
Yes,
Hey, we were just talking about that book. Remember? Did you read that book?
Yeah, I actually read all of it. I read
I
one.
think we all read that book, didn't
Yeah.
we? I think
George said it to me when I was in Tahoe. That's where I read it. He sent
Oh,
me a
yeah?
box of books. That was one of them. Then I got stuck on the
I
guy.
think
I got the other book he had. One where he kept going into different realities. He was doing that quantum, the choices thing. But he did it in an airplane. Every time he landed, he was in a different reality.
Wow.
And there was one cool scene, really cool scene. He comes out of his plane and there's a wise man there, right? And he's got the Book of Truth. Like this is the real one. This is like what everything's about, God and all that stuff. This is the real one, right? And then they throw it in a fire, and it says it's not every day you get to stand and learn from another religion. So I remember that. That was a good. That's what I really remember that book. I think one might have been in there too. Anyway, yes,
so.
I did read it in Tahoe. Thanks, George.
Well, remind us of who's the author. I can't remember the author.
Bach?
Do you
No,
remember?
something Bachman?
Sebastian? Yeah, maybe it's. Yeah,
Jonathan.
No, that's Stephen King writing The Long Walk. What the fuck? I don't remember. Richard. Is it
Richard
Richard
Bach?
Bach.
Richard
Yep,
Bach?
there you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
That guy.
I read it in like 6th grade when it came out, and everybody was reading it. Everybody was reading it.
Yeah. And I did.
Well, had kind of. Yeah, it was actually a lot of schools were having their classes read it at the time. I think my copy came from School One. I got it. We had to read it at School One. I know it had a, if I remember correctly, it has like a fairly heavy Christian theme to it.
Well, yeah, he was.
Kind
Yeah.
of like, or kind of like the Lion, the something in the wardrobe,
Right.
Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe kind of thing. It's just kind of like this Christian background thing to it.
Oh yeah, so
But
that was around the time my mom was in the cult, and all of those cult people were reading it. Being passed around like, you know.
yeah, I mean, it's got a good message, and it's it's all the.
You should be
I
striving
suppose
for
the
more.
best
even
part of
if you-
Christianity, you know,
Oh yeah, there's
all
good
the
shit in there. You know, it's a good. What is it? Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson cut the Bible up. He just took out the pages he liked. He tossed the rest. It's
He
called
took all the
Jefferson
supernatural
Bible.
shit out of it.
Huh?
That's what he did. He took all the supernatural shit out of it.
Well, whatever. I never. But it's
Yeah,
it's a
that's
lot
what he did.
thinner.
That's what I'm saying. He did. He went through the Bible and took out all the supernatural shit and left the rest.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. I guess. I don't know. I never read it. I know
He
it
didn't believe in
exists.
the supernatural shit, so he thought the message was good, but you don't need all that other crap.
You know what else he did? He made a like a desk, or like a portable desk. He designed woodworking. You get the
Yeah.
plans. I got the plans once. It looked kind of cool, but like had a place for inkwell. It's like you could carry it. It was like a laptop for then, right? It had where the place you put the feather, like the ink wouldn't get all fucked up. You just carry it around like a case. It's called a Jefferson desk.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing.
I want to make one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's something that I like. Actually, I have an extra one. I'll give it to you. You can make a bottle of this, right?
Ah,
Like, I use this all the fucking time. Like, the tablet, the book. This thing is the shit. It's like,
wow.
get out with it. Make a bunch of those. They're fucking $10 on eBay. Some guy's banging them out in his backyard.
Oh, yeah, that's a factory with a CNC machine cutting them
Oh,
out.
yeah, it is. But I mean, it's something you could do. I guess Epsy's the place to get rid of shit like that. If you
Etsy, yeah.
you get scrap wood, you make 20 of them, and go, hey, what the fuck, right? Yeah, $10. See if anybody.
Jed made a before he the Alzheimer's kicked in. He designed this really cool portable trestle table, really small trestle table that all comes apart.
Mm.
You can just set it up wherever you are. It's like really cool little thing. He made two of them, and then he couldn't do that anymore. But it was a really cool design. The top pops off and then everything folds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Sure.
I thought I would like to make some of those.
Yeah, I never really had patience for it. I just like if I made a table, I just made a table. It's just nothing fancy. The faster I got done, the better. Like yeah, all that. And like with Sabrina paints too. I like to draw, but like, god damn it, like just all the little that takes forever.
Oh, who's got a really great patience for that is George's son Mark.
Yeah.
He can really get into those details, man. Like, really.
I don't have it.
I don't have that either. I wish I did. Like that's so like.
I don't understand it, and I don't have the patience for it. But it is amazing to look at.
Yeah, he does some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Just that
cool shit.
Does this like black and white? Does this stuff in black and white, and then he'll put like these like little red and blue like veins or tubes or whatever. And just his taste about how he uses like the color and sparingly.
Three-dimensional.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Using dots to express three-dimensionality, shape and stuff. It's amazing how he just picked that up.
Yeah, he just had a natural knack for that, Really cool.
Yes, some of you guys are really talented. I always admired you. You're talented in many ways. I mean, you're a musician, artist, puppeteer, and stuff like that. I always admired people's artistry, because talent's a rare thing. It's not generally doesn't apply. It's not applied liberally.
Well, I guess you just have to have some kind of weird compulsion in your head. I don't know how to explain it. It comes with a cost, I'm like totally disorganized. My brain is like going here and there and off in the clouds and thinking about all kinds of shit when I should be paying attention to what I'm doing.
That's probably part of the creative element. Without that, probably
right.
Been
yeah, because I tried as an adult. I used to take Ritalin when I was a kid, and as an adult, I tried it, and it works really good. Like it really helps you work and do stuff and get stuff done, but it takes your creativity right away. You're not creative, It's weird.
It's like the manic depressants.
Even when
it's like with the manic depressants. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're a manic depressant. I'm saying like the manic depressants, they describe how, when they're on their highs, they're the most creative, they're the most insightful, But when they're on the other end of the spectrum, they're like experiencing all these awful lows. And so when they go on medication, it kind of caps both the extreme lows and the extreme highs of the most emotional variant. And they miss those high points because they really feel like they're in touch with things they're not normally in touch with, that they're more creative, more insightful, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of our greatest artists have been manic depressives.
They're like, give me the drug that only takes away the lows and not the highs, Where's that drug? I knew a guy, well, you know him, Frankie. Everything was
yes.
Really good for him, and he was suicidal, and that's why he decided to get help, because he looked at his life and said, wait a minute, I got this great family, we all get along, we a lot of love, I'm doing this great job that I'm doing and all this, everything's going great for me, and yet I'm suicidal. There's something wrong with that. Like, why do I feel this way? And it turned out he was bipolar. And, he was severely bipolar. They ended up shocking his brain and everything.
Wow.
He's a lot better
That
now.
is good. Good for
Well,
him.
a lot of, not everything, but a lot of mental problems have to do with just our situation, the way we live. They were saying about tribe. Um,
Yeah.
there's in tribe at the beginning he talks about when when people in this society would go off with the natives and you couldn't get them to come back. Um,
Yeah.
even the kidnapped ones. There's a lot of stories of that. It's just so heart wrenching, you know.
Yeah, when they forced prisoner exchanges and stuff, and
Yeah.
people didn't want to leave their new families.
Well, the only family
Yeah.
they'd known.
The British had to enact a law in Virginia, like it's under penalty of death if you go native.
Yeah.
They'll hunt you down and kill you
Yep. It's illegal.
because they were losing so many people.
They were actually Benjamin Franklin
Massachusetts
even
Bay
wrote about it.
Colony.
There's a right he wrote about it. It says there's no instance of a Native American becoming part of our society, but there are plenty of examples of the opposite.
It was an easier life.
Better, yeah.
compared to-
Puritans, who wants to hang out with those fucking assholes?
Nobody liked the Puritans.
Go
Even
to
the other
church
British,
all day Sunday, the stock.
even the British didn't like the Puritans. They
Even Roger Williams didn't like it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
yeah, that's
Roger
right.
Williams was cool. That guy was cool.
But you're right. I mean, that's why the Puritans they said, yeah, go over there and start a colony. Just get the fuck out of England. You know, we don't need you.
Yeah, here's a boat.
There's a boat.
Fuck off.
Takes your chances out
There's
there
3
with
boats.
the natives.
During Metacomet's War, the by the time Metacomet was doing his thing, the British had already taken New York from the Dutch, and so they had a big presence in New York. And in New England, the Puritans were getting their asses kicked, and the British in New York was just letting it happen because they didn't like the Puritans. It's like, fuck them, let them, like, kill those guys.
Yeah.
And then they waited until they finally agreed to like abide by their laws instead of the Puritan laws. We'll become a regular British colony, and they said, "All right, now we'll help you." And they sent in troops to help them, but they let them get their asses kicked for a long time because they were Puritans.
Oh, I should mention that audio book is on your hard drive. Tribe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the directory.
Okay.
The tags are fucked up. They show up as the chapter titles. I fucked it up, right? But if you go into the directory, they're all there. But
All right.
the MP3 player blows them all over the place because they have different. They don't have the same author. The artist is so they're that way when it sorts that way. But they're all in one directory. Oh, that's a good one.
Hello. Hey Matt, how you doing?
What's that? It's
Hey,
taking a call.
I sent you. I sent you Spartina.
Well, yeah,
The Don't book?
Send who?
You.
Fatina.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh,
You only have one.
wow, really? Great.
you know
I would.
what?
You know something? Yesterday I was here at the beach. I didn't have a book, and I was thinking I would like to have been reading Spatina here on the beach.
It's in
You
your
know.
mailbox.
No kidding.
Yeah.
In my.
I had
Oh,
tracking. I tracked it to your mailbox.
That's awesome, Dave. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
It's great.
like I wish I had it here. I'd read it today.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping, like, I saw it got to your house at the 3rd. I says, oh, good, you'll be able to go to the beach with it, right? I thought that, but I read a book.
I left on the.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
sorry. Yeah.
No, I know, this is, like, the delay is just enough where we step on each other, right? I think you're done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This takes a little talent, you know?
All right, well, good luck.
Trying to figure out,
Bye-bye.
so I don't mean to step
No, that would have been the perfect book to read here. It would have just been perfect.
Yeah.
We leave early. We left early on the 3rd. We try to make the Hampton tolls by 9 o'clock because, I mean, on a holiday weekend, if you don't make the tolls by 9 o'clock, it just gets nutty,
Oh,
know,
yeah.
through New Hampshire
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Bumper to bumper.
Dude,
I'll leave it 2 in the
I mean,
morning.
as it is, when I went up to see Mike and Pete last week, I left at 5 o'clock, and so by the time I got to 290, 495, the traffic was insane on 290, 495 at 5:30 in the morning. I could not believe how much traffic was on that road. All the
Yeah,
way up until 95, it was just so
it's getting
what are
worse
all
and
these
worse
people
every
doing?
year.
Uh,
And other people are, it used to be when you were on the road that early, you didn't see, many people. Traffic was
right.
moving. But a lot of people now, because there's so much traffic, and now people have to leave way earlier.
Yeah. Oh well. It's
If I
like
leave,
tomorrow we're gonna.
if I leave here at 5, I can get to Boston, by 7:30. If I leave here at 5:15, I can get to Boston by 8:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here, there's a big difference between 3 to 8 and 8 o'clock on Atwood. Like when I blast out of there, like it's weird. There's surges, There are
Just a few
moments.
minutes, man.
Now it clears up a little now the school's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big improvement.
So I got the call this week. I got the dread job that, I wanted because I didn't have any work, but really didn't want because it's going to be such a major pain in the ass.
It's a big
in the
job,
back.
right?
It's a huge job, and it's it's in Boston, right on the edge of the north end, the Italian
Oh.
section. And there's no parking,
No.
and you're gonna drive around all around trying to find parking and carrying your tools and shit.
Little Italy though. Get a margarita pizza. That is exactly what they have in Naples, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's where I've been around, and that place they did it. Well, I don't know if they still do it, but
Okay, which one?
I can't
Which
remember.
bakery?
It's probably all of them.
Was it that-
Don't remember. I really
Regina's Pizza,
You know what I do
the
remember?
best margarita, North Boston.
There was was a
Yes,
store next to
Regina's.
it where you could get Italian cards, right? So that place was pretty. There was it's right on that main road. I don't know what the main road is.
Yeah.
That goes straight through. Anyway, I imagine they're all like that. With that place there's no reason to have another pizza place unless you're doing that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was-
Yeah.
My
anyway,
mother's
that was like, I went,
husband,
whoa,
that man,
Not
his family runs a bakery there.
that man?
Yeah, his family runs a
Oh, the
bakery there.
family.
Yeah.
There's
well, I'm sure he'll hook you up, won't he? He'll bring some stuff around.
He's
for
gone.
ya.
He's long gone.
There's a Lovecraft
Oh, yeah?
story about that place. And he uses the word Dago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There's these things in the sewer underneath, and they're probably Italians too. I don't remember. But fucking, yeah, Lovecraft was a hardcore fucking asshole. Dago.
Well, I mean, people say things that are perfectly acceptable now, but like 20 years from now, 50 years from now, they'll look back in horror, thinking, "How the hell did they talk to people
Yeah,
like
that's
that?"
right.
There was this death cult, and he listed all the people in it. They were all not white, right? It was like this charming, diverse death cult. That was in New Orleans. I think that's the thing.
I know a kid who burnt down Lovecraft's house.
Huh?
I know a kid who burnt down Lovecraft's house.
Burnt it down?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep, the Fuscos were living in H.P. Lovecraft's house on is it on Johnson Road?
No, I don't know.
On the end of Johnson Road, and he was cooking something in the toaster oven. He went out and got high or something, and the thing caught on fire. Burned his house, historical house and everything. They rebuilt it to look right, but
Uh-huh.
the original house got burned.
Hey, he made it better. Now it's got all modern shit, That thing was going to burn down anyway. So now it's happened, so now it won't.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that no more,
Yeah,
I think he has a place on Benefit Street too. He had a place in
yeah,
town.
that's right.
He has.
He wrote about the Dark Swamp.
About the rural Rhode Island, yes.
Yep, and I've been to Dark Swamp. it's a nice place. I want to go back in the winter. I keep forgetting that I want to go back there when it's frozen and walk
I know
around.
you read about places around here. That's wild. Like Waterman
Yeah.
Avenue. I know what that is.
Yeah. Oh, we got to go see that M. Shamalama Ding Dong movie that they filmed. They filmed some of it in Newport. They filmed some of it at the Stagecoach in Patchett.
Really?
They filmed some of it at the Covered Bridge in Foster and at Borders Farm on North Road.
Really?
Yep. They were just there like last week
No
filming.
kidding.
Yep.
So
Oh,
what's
alright.
the movie? What's the
It's
story?
it's a horror romance
Up by you?
with Jake Gyllenhaal as the star.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh, so Brokeback Mountain Foster style, right? So
He broke back Yarmouth Hill, I guess. Is he forever going to be remembered for that now?
Just for George. I was thinking of other shit already. George won't let go.
well, you know what's crazy is that was a story about homosexual love, but the best part of the scene is what's that woman's? She did that topless scene in the
Anne Hathaway? Is that
Anne Hathaway? That was like, oh my God! Thank God they had like.
They did that for all the husbands that had to get dragged along to that movie.
There you go. Yep.
All the women are like, "Come on, you gotta be open-minded. Don't be such a jerk." Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Mike's there. Hey,
Mikey,
look at you. Hey, look at you.
look at
Hey,
you.
look at you.
Look at you over
you.
there.
Got my new tartan.
Yeah, it looks good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Oh, you look like a proper cabbie now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You just need a cigar. Big smelly
that's what I was just
cigar.
about to say. That you need a cigar.
You need a cigar.
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm all right. What are you guys talking about?
Robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are now. That is.
We managed to go the whole show without
Hadn't even
speaking
thought
of
of it.
anything.
Until I saw
Yeah,
you.
sure. Sure.
We were
That's all we
talking
thought about
George
when we saw
being
your
in his
face.
element over there. I'm glad we got to do this show while you were up there, George. I mean, like, finally get this. It's really appropriate that you're doing this from your.
Oh
beach
well,
chair.
it's rather than looking at my hairy legs, maybe you could look at something else.
We were talking about Brokeback Mountain, Mike.
That's right. I don't want to get you guys too worked up, so
One of the
So
stars
this
of Brokeback Mountain was in Foster filming a movie this week. They filmed
Which
in Newport, they filmed in Patchett, and they filmed up here in Foster.
What
like,
movie?
usually those
I don't know what the
movies
name
they
of it.
usually those
Night
movies they
Shyamalan.
sit in the can for like 2 years. So when's the release date for this thing?
Supposed to be fall of 2026.
Oh, so it is going to sit for a while.
Oh, you're gonna have tourists. People are gonna want pictures next to the stagecoach now.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the way
Maybe.
from Oklahoma.
depends if the movie's good and has a cult following or whatever.
It's a lot of hit and miss with that guy. Sometimes he does well, sometimes it's like not so.
The career peak
Not so
with that
great.
mountain thing.
It's funny in order to film up at Borders Farm, they needed someone from on the board there. So Helen Dixon went over there, and she'd never seen a Jake Gyllenhaal movie or any M. Night Shyamalan movies. Like she's just not into that. So there's all these famous people there. She met them all, and she had no idea who they were.
I like Donnie Darko. I like that movie a lot.
Which one was it? Is that
That's on the hard drive too.
the one with the rabbit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time travel. It's a time loop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's great, actually.
I've
love
seen that one.
I like the music. The copy you got, has the added shit, which I
Oh.
hate. I hate when. I wish they would fucking stop doing that. Like you see a movie years later and it's fucking different. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'd like it was fine the way it was.
So you don't like the little added scene or
No.
footage?
No.
No. You know what? There was a commentary track. All the President's Men and Robert Redford was doing the commentary. That's great. That's actually great. And he mentions that. He says, you know, I'm looking at it now like 20 years later, and I'm seeing shit I could fix. Right? He says, but he says, you don't do that. Like, he says, once you release it, it's not yours anymore. It's the audience.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway. Oh,
Hey,
now you're
look
my
at you.
soapbox. Let's just back to robots. Let's go back to robots over here.
I saw Brokeback Mountain. It was double dating. It was on a double date.
Yeah.
And on the way out, I said to the other guy, I said, "Hey, you want to go camping?"
I've been influenced.
Did he say yes?
And,
It was an uncomfortable moment. But
yeah, it was all
He called
silence
your
on the way
bluff.
home.
He called your bluff, man.
You never spoke again.
you want to go?
No more
What are you
double
doing next
dating.
weekend?
man.
You want to go camping? You want to go camping?
We were just so before you came on, we were talking about a scene with Anne Hathaway that they put in for all the men who had to get dragged there by their wives or girlfriends. Like, they gave them a scene.
You know, I saw it in the theaters, and it was when it came out. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Good love story, I guess.
Love is love.
There's one, he keeps going through this time loop in a train. He keeps trying to stop a terrorist attack, and it turns out that
yeah.
he's in that chamber. He's just in a chamber. He's like,
Yes.
they got him hooked up to shit.
Yeah, they
Oh, tell it.
reanimated part of
That
his
was
brain
great.
to
That's
try
a
to.
great movie. I can't remember the name of it though. I watched that.
That is a good one. Yeah.
That's an M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't know who fucking did it, but Gyllenhaal's in it. It's movies he's
I
done.
remember that.
There's
Wow,
one
I
with
had
a
forgotten
giant
all
spider,
about that.
too, he does. That was like an A24. That's really good. It's just out there though. It's like what fucking happens? Yeah, you decide. It's one of those you decide what happened thing. Was he mad? Was that big spider really there? You know, shit like that. I forgot that one. That was like an A24 though. But Donnie Darko,
Is that Spaceman? Is that the Spaceman movie where he's up talking to some like?
That's Life. Oh, that's Life. Life is great. The one where they're in orbit and they get that life form. Life.
No, I'm thinking of Spaceman. Guys
It's
up
okay,
in
yeah,
space.
with Adam Sandler. Yeah, that was pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
And that was kind of like a
You remember
spidery, octopusy looking alien
Yeah.
that he was talking to. That kind of helped him out.
Oh
It was
wow.
kind of benevolent, a benevolent alien.
I gotta go find that. I bet you that's even on Netflix. I gotta
Do you,
go back.
do you remember the name of that?
Spaceman.
Spaceman, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Spaceman.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
Adam
Space Team?
Sandler. Spaceman.
You the spaceman. Mike's the spaceman.
Looks like Dan Carlin's I got pop up. Dan Carlin's got another something or other.
Oh yeah.
Sledgehammer, Sledgehammer and Big Shot. It's called.
He got
excellent.
another book, and now he's ranting.
Yeah, that's great.
Check it out.
I really like-
got People of Darkness.
Oh, that's Tony Hillerman.
This is good. There's three of them. Skinwalkers is when they both get together. Chi and Lee Pon. This is just Jim Chi. This is the part where he's FBI and he shows up. That's all this one's about. And 7 of 9. That house, that house 7 of 9 was in. You know what I'm talking about in the TV show.
Oh yeah.
That's a mountain. I was near that. He describes the place, and it's called Mount Taylor in New Mexico. And when I was riding through New Mexico, it got high and it got cold, right? And then there was snow. And it turns out, and my car, after I was in Tahoe, I knew like when I was in altitude, because my car would behave a certain way. The car would Venturi. So I'm going like, what the fuck? Am I like in a mountain? But it was so gradual. It turns out I was. And that was down here on 40. And that's where 709 lives. Overlooking that. They just describe it. And then I remembered going through it. I went through on 40, right? And I broke down, like in the middle of the desert. I didn't have water. I had tools though, and I'd already had that car part color. It was a Bluesmobile. It broke down on me, right? It wouldn't start. I couldn't get to start. So I get up to Chilton's, right? and it's got wires going up to where the key is, right? So I got to get it there. So I drill it out. I had a battery. I had tools, right? So I drill it out, right? And there's no wires. Turns out Chilton's lying to me, right? This isn't how the wiring is. It's like some kind of censorship, right? So I can't steal my car. Now I don't know what the fuck's wrong. But when I drilled it out, it started. Like I just had the key out. Now I couldn't lock it or anything. It was just like I could just get like in there and just turn it, right? Without the key in the key latch. So I'm going, and it would stop the kick out, and I'd slap the fucking steering wheel, and then it'd go again, like, and but then I could go for a long time. I would just do this once in a while, and when I fixed it here, I went to the junkyard here at Wilson's, and I pulled out a steering column, took it home, and I saw there's a box. When you turn the key, it had a wire that went down, and it pushed like a box, and that got fouled. So I could have just gone underneath, pulled that out, and then started it that way with a nail, which is what I started doing after I almost died on 40. I didn't have any water, and there was nobody out there.
You'd have been one of those skeletons on the side of the road.
Yeah. I was an idiot. I didn't have nothing. I wasn't ready to go through the
I got tools. I got tools.
Sitting there with his battery drill. He's a skeleton, but the drill's still running.
Chilton lied.
Completely lucky.
Fucking lied to me.
Chilton lied.
I'm gonna die. Couldn't believe I did that.
US 40. Yeah, I've been on that road.
Yeah, I took the whole way
Desert.
across.
I went through New Mexico through there. Yeah.
Arizona, man, fucking beautiful.
When I went through New Mexico, I just got this feeling like I want to stay here for a while. I want to live here for like a year or two.
There's nowhere to stop. I was doing that too. I said I could get a job. I could get like some shitty trailer. I could live here. But then it was and then nothing like that showed up the whole way.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really liked it, New Mexico.
If only we had water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. But fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, the desert's no joke, man.
No, but like all those states, if you get in the right place, it's beautiful. I don't know. I just had this. Just really liked it. I like the land.
Yeah, it's pretty
in
nice.
Arizona.
The stars at night. Oh man.
Man.
Fucking beautiful. So it brought me all back. I remember that I'm reading that part, right? And I go, oh, I was there. Because they talk about the lava flow. Remember I brought lava to you?
Yep.
That's where I was, right? It was a sea of lava. And I said, Mike would want, I don't even remember what. So Mike wanted a fucking lava rock. So I got a little fucking stupid lava rock. And then I get further down, like in Texas now, like, oh, for the fucking sweat lodge. Fuck. You don't want one little rock. He's going to want a shitload of them. Fuck.
Remember that.
Yeah. I couldn't remember why. He bought a lava rock. I'll get this here.
Well, I'm glad you thought of me, though. That was really nice. Thoughtful.
I couldn't remember why, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, all right. Yeah. Good book. And
Cool.
I'm going to get the other one. His first book is with Lee Pawn, and then the Skinwalkers that we read has them both teaming up. So that's going to be like I guess the 3 books that have to do with that great TV show.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job with the TV show.
Yeah, I liked it. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
7 and 9. 7 and 9. In this, she doesn't have oxygen. She's not all that crippled. She's that age, but she's not all that fucked up. I think like she was bogged, so I guess she said, "Listen, just for my fans, hook some shit up to me."
No, believe me, her fans don't want to see. They want to see as little as possible on her.
Yeah.
What's the name of that book?
People of Darkness.
People of Darkness.
There's 3 of
Tell me
them.
how-
Who's she like? 60 now? 60? She's our age now. It's 7 of 9.
Is she?
She's like,
Yeah,
I
she's
think so.
I saw pictures of her recently she's in another Star Trek series.
Yeah, Picard.
She looks really good. She still looks really good.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
his first novel was The Blessing Way, and that's with Leaphorn. That was written in 1970. And then in
Yes,
1980, he wrote People of
Joe
Darkness with
Leaphorn.
Jim Chi. And then in
Yes.
'86, he wrote Skinwalkers with both of them teaming up. So I guess the Blessing Way I'm going to get next. I
Yeah,
like that.
because
Yeah.
Joe Leaphorn was the original character. He was the old grizzled, Navajo police officer, and Jim Chi was the new recruit.
Yeah,
Fresh from college and just off the police academy.
yeah. He could have left the res, but then he
Uh,
came back.
but yeah, Joe Leaphorn's story arc is pretty interesting. Did they have that in the series?
Yeah. At the end, he's on a motorcycle with his wife, and they go off into the sunset. So, they go out into that road that almost killed me.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, when you drive around like the big res and stuff like this, you got like maybe like 100, 200 miles to the nearest town and stuff. So you're driving across this desert
yeah,
and you're doing like about 70 miles an hour, like, and, trying to get to the next town. And then you come across like a pickup truck, an old pickup truck with a Navajo couple in it. And they're like cruising along like at 30 miles an hour. And they have all time in the world to get to the next place. And they're like, well, it's the rush, man.
oh,
It
the
takes all
truck could
day to get
overheat.
there. Who cares?
Plus, that truck probably that's as fast as it goes.
Well, if you go any faster and start overheating, like the U joints are worn out and all that shit, you're in the desert. You got to baby the fucker, man. That '66 Fury, remember Bert? I babied that across. I did like 55 the whole way or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was an old timer, you know. It's, but it made it. It got stolen. That was the end of that.
I recall that.
It never broke
I
that.
vaguely recall that whole steering column thing.
I couldn't believe it. The Chiltons was wrong.
Steering column.
In the middle of the desert. This is really important. I know what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I never
Chilton's
forgot
let me
that.
down. That sounds like a country song. Instead of the bottle let me down.
Chilton's let me down. Yep.
You can have it.
Chilton let me down.
Because those things were the Bible back in the day when you had to
yeah.
rent your own cars,
Yeah. Yes. I got that book because I took out my distributor cap and there wasn't points. I went, oh, this is different. Right? It was electronic. I didn't know shit about electronic ignition. It was a 74. There's ballast resistor on the fucking firewall. What's all this shit? There's new shit. It was like, it was new shit.
Holy fuck, electronic ignitions.
Yeah.
Hang on for the ride. What the hell? What's this world coming to?
I put a
No
4
adjusting
barrel.
the points. Oh my god.
When I was in Tahoe, I put a 4 barrel on it, right? And it caught fire. And I wasn't ready.
Jesus.
So I threw dirt all over it, right? So now I have my carburetor's there and it's smoking and it's full of dirt.
Oh fuck.
So I had to take that off and I had to take like tape and go down to the manifold and carefully get every little pebble and shit. Then I put the old carburetor back and I quit fucking around. Oh, I returned it. Like it was from an auto parts store, so I took the carburetor back into my sink and I gave it a nice shining, right? And I put it back in the box. And the guy said, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "I didn't fit." That's why I
There's some major storm blew through RI, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's small, but it was like intense, right?
It was
I keep
intense.
seeing these like reels of it,
George had at George's house there was hail, and down in Killingly there was hail. There was so much hail that people were going off the highway because it was covered in ice.
What time was it?
Afternoon, late afternoon, early evening.
The 3rd?
Yeah.
You sleep through it? I must have slept
Yep.
through it. I should
Complete
go
with
up there and see if my
microbursts.
fucking windshields are all right.
One of the videos was it showed it was like this time lapse of Oakland Beach, right? The people on the beach, like over at Iggy's, that area, and it was like a sped up kind of thing, and there was no volume, there was no audio, and it just people all over the beach, and then it got dark, it got really dark, and then it just like, this thing blew through, and people were still out in it and stuff, and lightning was going. It was
Wow.
pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
We had
It was wild weather.
Yeah, we had a
Can't
pretty
imagine
good thunderstorm up here at the same
Yeah.
time. A pretty decent thunderstorm came through
getting.
here.
We didn't get anything in Rochester. Just a little rain, just a tiny
We
bit.
lost power for a few minutes, but there are people who still, like this guy Matt, who just called me. He's making some balusters for me. He called me to tell me his power's still out. He can't make them. Power's still out today.
Yeah, they're
Some of the
originally
video
saying Sunday they were gonna have the power restored in most places. They figure.
A lot of the video I saw was from like Cranston and Warwick and stuff. It just got nailed.
Yeah. The whole area. When you looked at the radar, it was just all red. Like, you know how like on the radar, like the yellow is like thunderstorm and red is potential tornadoes. Yeah, it was all just red, just coming across.
Wow. I remember that
Remember-
forecast. It looked like it was going to go over you, Mikey. I remember earlier thinking Mikey's going to get hammered. Like they were showing
we didn't.
the projection, then I went to sleep. I missed it. Now I remember it.
Yeah, we got.
Cranston had like all trees down and everything. It looked like a freaking monsoon went through
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. The wind
Lot
was
of-
howling. It was raining. The trees are like, you know.
there. You remember paddling from Goddard Park over to Oakland Beach, crossing that bay there, and it's so shallow there. I mean, that was rough even in a good day. You know.
Yeah.
Can't imagine being caught on that during like a microburst like that. That'd be wild.
Man, that would suck.
Yeah.
You better have a good roll on you, and you better not tire out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what gets people. They can roll, but the storm is happening, so they got to keep rolling. You know, come up and the wind blows you over again. You got to come up. You know, eventually they just get tired.
Yeah, those microbursts come out of nowhere sometimes too. You know.
I got in one. I was in my kayak. No, it was my canoe, and I was going across the pond, and I looked behind me. I could hear thunder, and I looked up, and like there was this front, and I looked behind me, and there was rain coming across the
Yeah.
pond, and so I paddled really hard and got my canoe up on a rock and got underneath it, and then it was like this thunderstorm. And I got in under it just in time.
Ha.
It was cool. And you know how my seat comes out in my canoe? I pulled the seat out and put it on the ground. I just sat in my seat and watched the amazing thunderstorm all around.
Mike, I used to do that on the mighty Waterman Lake. I'd be out there in my sailboat. I see that clouds coming in. Oh no, here comes the sun.
Yeah,
Hey, how'd your gig go yesterday?
it's good. Really beautiful
Yeah.
place. Really beautiful.
Nice.
Big fields. You know, we're sitting there like me and the bass player got there early so that we didn't have to deal with parade traffic in Patchett.
Oh yeah.
And we're sitting there, and they got like, you know, probably a dozen cows and calves. And they're grazing around, and then there's like all these wild turkeys come through, and then there's this herd of deer over there in that other field, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything's so green.
What town is that?
Patchett
Oh, Patchett.
on Douglas Hook Road.
Oh, Douglas Hook, huh? I remember.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in probably 2 decades. Douglas
Yeah.
Hook Road. Whoa.
I like George's Road. Cucumber Hill.
Cucumber Hill.
He found his thrill on Cucumber Hill.
Well, Douglas Cook. That's where Ray Cook used to live, though, down there.
He
Right?
lived down the end of it, right?
Yeah.
He lived on the
Used
end
to
of
party.
Douglas Hook Road.
We used to party in those gravel pits.
Yeah.
Gravel pits.
Gravel pit.
Yeah.
Well, you have like a kegger in there.
So this place used to
Yeah.
be, back in the day, this place was an apple orchard. And then it had all grown in, and the two brothers inherited it from their uncle. And they did a lot of work clearing out all the clearing all the fields, bringing all the fields back. Beautiful, really beautiful. You know, it was blue sky. It was like perfect temperature. Puffy clouds with, I was telling these guys, like with beams of light coming down, lighting up different parts of the fields and forests and stuff. It's really. Just
And then a
incredible.
UFO.
Yesterday, the humidity just disappeared. The temp stayed in the low 70s. It was just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
You know? And we're back to 93 humid.
Yeah, I got to get my guitars out of. I left my guitars in the truck.
Ooh,
They're
In
gonna
the
get hot.
sun?
Well, if I get them out, if I get them, they're still in the shade. If I get them now,
Oh yeah, that's right.
they'll
You're
be
shade.
okay. You know,
I have full white here.
I don't. If it's winter time, I have to take my guitars in. Right, I take them in after the gig. But summertime, I could
George,
late at
George, you
night.
got one more night there?
Yep.
One more night?
One more night, and then I'm gonna try to leave early to beat the traffic out of the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
north.
because
Beat the
everybody's
traffic.
going to be leaving the north.
Yeah. Take me an hour to get through the Hampton Tolls or something like that.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
do
crowded.
like a 4 o'clock boogie, 4 a.m.
If it was me,
Yeah, if it
Yeah,
was
sure,
you,
but it's not just
that's
me.
right.
If it's not just me, you got to get up, get everyone else rolling. That's
You
that's
gotta
tough.
do it the dumb way.
If you're not in the
Yeah.
car by 5 o'clock, I'm going. That's how you do it.
You have to go to a
Oh,
restaurant first, George. You have to get everybody. You gotta get seated, and you gotta wait for the
Yeah,
menu, and then you gotta wait for the lady to come
no.
back with the check, and then you gotta get gas.
In the
And make sure
meantime,
everybody went to
the
the
highways,
bathroom.
That's
the
right.
highways getting packed.
Yeah,
Oof.
Right.
Me,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like,
like,
all right,
yeah,
stop
get
at
up
the
at
Irving
2 and
station,
flog it.
gas up, and if you can't buy it at the Irving station, then that's all we get on the
you
way
don't need
home.
it. If you can't get it
Yeah.
at the Irving station, you don't need it.
Nope.
Every 5 minute delay equals 20 more minutes on the highway.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
If you're feeling evil,
Uh,
give everybody like a 20-ounce
what?
drink.
Uh,
You'll never
well,
get
Mike, when
home.
I went up to see you, I left at 5, and I got 290, 495 at 5:30, and it was intensely crowded. The 290 and 495 were just so packed with cars and stuff. Yeah. And that was at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh,
But
hey, it's my day
It is,
off.
yeah,
Why don't I do something
there's
that
like
really sucks?
different rush hours. There's an early rush, and then there's kind of the 8 o'clock rush, and
uh,
then the lunchtime rush,
Lunch
and then the
rush.
4 o'clock. Yeah,
the
I'm in the
bums
lunch
rush.
rush.
yeah. You got to time those things out well.
Yeah, this is like a 3-4 hour rush hour into Boston area
Hmm.
in the morning, and at least that on the way home.
I always laugh when I get those Friday afternoon Uber driving. Get those little offers of a trip to Logan 3 o'clock on a Friday for
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, yeah, no,
No, not doing that. Sorry.
not doing that.
You're already late for that.
I don't care how much you pay me.
Yes,
I'm
well,
not
when
doing
you're an old man and you're making those doctor's appointments, they're always in the Providence area. So I always try to make them between 10 and like 2 o'clock because you don't want a doctor's appointment anywhere later or earlier than 10 or 2 o'clock. Or you're going to face the bitch of a traffic jam trying to get in and out of the city area.
You dying?
Later, boys.